Have you ever wondered what fashion brands or trends looked like in the 1920s? The most popular fashion brands and trends of the 1920s is Coco Chanel being one of them. This brand was a prominent figure of women's fashion. She sold a famous Chanel suit in her little black dress. And she was also known for her number 5 perfume. Another designer brand is Elsa Choparli. She designed in the 1929s cuts designs in fashion clothing, also a raincoat and rubber-sized wool, silk, and jumpsuits with visible zips. Finally, the evening dress. Additionally, Sonia Delaney designed her first costumes for Sergei D. Famous ballets designed shop interiors as well. The final designer that I'll be talking about is Hilda Stewart. She designed the sleeveless evening dress. To conclude, the most popular fashion brands and trends in the 1920s is in the Great Gatsby, Daisy wears Prada dresses and Tiffany & Co. jewelry. The Prada dresses are a knee-length tulle dress with a ramage pattern embroidered in crystals. Moving into women's clothing. Women's clothing in the 1920s went through dramatic change reflecting the era's youth and revolution. Typical women everyday wear consisted of house dresses worn both of home and out in public. They were typically loose-fitting, with a dropped waist, shoulder hemline, and often made with colorful prints. Another typical style was athletic wear. Inspired by women golfer and tennis players, they wore separate tops and skirts. Tops were usually buttoned up, tied with bows at the end of the collar. Skirts typically stayed long sometimes, being knee-length. They also had low waistlines. This style reflected the active lifestyle that women were beginning to lead. Sportswear was also influenced in everyday fashion. A big part of 1920s fashion was women flapper style. This style was a big fashion movement that moved away from traditional norms. It featured dresses with low neck lines, often sleeveless, and revealed the calves. These dresses were often straight cut, giving women a sleek silhouette. Flapper dresses were also embellished with a lot of sequin and tassels. A big part of women's fashion was accessories. Big beaded jewelry was a staple to any outfit. Shawls and coats, particularly ones made of fur, were considered a woman's most prized possession. Lastly, hats were a big part of fashion. Fashion hats were close-fitting, narrow-brimmed of tight-fitting to a woman's head, and of course was decorated with bows, flowers, and embroidery. Daisy from the Great Gatsby embodies the fashion of 1920s perfectly. Her style includes the flapper style fashion. Her outfits also feature beaded sequins too. Daisy's fashion reflects the eras of elegance and also breaking from traditional restrictive clothing, showing the spirit of the 1920s. In addition to fashion trends in the 1920s, the casual clothing category did not exist, but if it did, it would be best described Nick Carraway and the Great Gatsby. The closest to it for the lower class was everyday workwear that would usually include denim. They have denim jackets, overalls, and pants with button-down flannel shirt with a hat. For the upper class, it was dressed-down summer suits or sportswear, which included polka dots, stripes, and motifs. Inspired by the sea and sailors, the upper class, who traditionally lived in the West Egg and the Great Gatsby, wore formal clothing to any party, ball, dinner, wedding, event, or form of entertainment. They always wore a top hat and a tailcoat and an optional tuxedo. For pants, they wore matching trousers with a sharp crease down the center. The tuxedo became very popular in the late 20s and was worn without a vest and always a white silk or cotton shirt underneath. They usually had a black bow tie with it too. Formal shoes were patent leather Oxford shoes. People usually wore silk socks under them. Work boots were a must for men in the lower class. They were durable and reliable. They were plethora of jackets for people to choose from. Some wore denim jackets, wool bomber jackets, and leather jackets. Men wore white or pastel colors on their nightshirt or nightgown, or nightrobe. They usually had vertical stripes. They were long sleeves and went down to the ankles, made of cotton, wool, linen, or flannel. People preferred round glasses over shaped. The Princeton style of glasses were extremely popular with old men. These type of glasses pinched with the nose instead of wrapping around the ears. Some people had accessories, like having a cord hang from them or replacing pieces with gold. Glasses were the best personalized, and they had guidelines to choose which type of glasses fit you best. Every man in the 1920s had a pocket watch that was attached to gold or silver chain. The two leading watch manufacturers were the Waltham Watch Company and Legend. In addition to 1920s fashion, children's fashion styles changed to fit the children's active needs so they could play more freely, while the clothing also got more stylish and appealing to look at. Until toddlerhood, babies, both girls and boys, because they were seen alike, wore white gowns which got shortened to their knees once they could walk. Girls' dress lengths represented and correlated to their age. Toddlers would wear them to their mid-thigh, schoolgirls would wear them at the knee, and older girls and teens would wear them below the knee. Young girls who were about ages 5 to 12 wore dress styles such as baby doll, sailor style, and drop waist, which were made from either cotton or linen and had small, colorful prints on them. Majority of the dresses for young ladies in the 1920s had large pockets which were put with either lace or embroidery. And with their dresses, they were cotton stockings or tail socks with a pair of boots or low-heel shoes. While in the winter, they wore a knit sweater or a heavy coat over top of their dresses and sometimes a hat on their head. They had different outfits for different events. Like for everyday wear, they would wear more casual outfits, primarily made of cotton, and for more special occasions, they would wear more luxury fabrics such as velvet or satin, which would often be worn with big ruffles and bow tie waistbands. For church, confirmation, graduation, and summer parties, celebrating ladies would wear all white dresses. The only times girls could wear pants was when they were playing sports and playtime. For young boys in the 1920s, they wore a mix of short pants with matching jackets, short overalls and shorts, and pad pantsuits, which would count for their work clothes. Their play clothes consisted of rompers and reefers for young boys. Older boys preferred suits made from fabric like tweed or wool. Younger boys wore suits as well, but with short pants called knickers with tall socks. They would graduate to long pants when they were about age 12. Boys would transition into going to work instead of school at 10 years old, where they would wear sturdy denim overalls, wool pants, heavy flannel, and lace-up boots. All boys in the 1920s wore knitwear such as sweaters, cardigan jackets, which had bright colors and bold patterns. The knock-now jacket was best for active boys, and as they got older, they would wear more overcoats like their fathers. They would accessorize with suspenders, which were worn under their jackets, felt hats, known as fedoras, which would match their suits, and flat caps, which were worn year-round. Then, as both girls and boys got older, their styles transitioned into more older women's and men's clothing.